Alright, how's it going, everyone? So, final mods done on the card. We'll be running test runs on air on the stock cooler. I've designed, as you can see here, a heatsink for the MOSFETs for the VRM, and also added on a digital display to show the core voltage. The memory I'll never change. It's at its max voltage on what I want it to go to, and it's not going to scale any further on this card, so I didn't put one on there. But this card here, we're going to test it from, I already got some stock measurements off of this card here, and modified tests as well, and also every mod you can do to a graphics card basically has been done on this card. So what I did for the digital display, I soldered on a piece of metal and just put a screw through it, like a standoff screw, so that way it can sit. It can sit and it helps level out the card so it's nice and flat. So just in case I have to do work on to it, it sits nice and level, which is nice. But yeah, this is the card all done and ready to rock. This is the EVGA GTX 460. As some of you know, I got this card broken, and yeah, so I got this card broken, got it fixed up. Had to do a reflow onto the memory chips, artifacting after doing all my testing to see what could be wrong. And yeah, memory chips just need a reflow, and got it all working. Got this card, basically all the mods that are done onto it right now, except for the VRM cooling, which is needed, and the LCD screen here showing the core voltage. But after doing a certain modification, the switching frequency modification, I did some test runs and ran Furmark and blew up another MOSFET. So I had to replace that, got it replaced, and we're going to see how far we can push the card now. I do believe this card's going to run pretty good. I'm only going to be doing it on water. I won't be doing it on chilled right away, but when I do chilled, this card should do pretty good. Eventually, I will be doing dry ice or LN2 on this card as well, so get it all prepped up, ready to go for that as well, and hopefully it performs good. So yeah, the mods done on this card, as you can see, cap mods everywhere. So MLCs, tantalums, aluminum polymers, everywhere on the card. It's got no overcurrent protection, no overvoltage protection. It has switching frequency has been put up to 930 kilohertz, which is a lot. That's why the MOSFET's gonna get really hot. 930 kilohertz for switching frequency. It's got core voltage and memory voltage done on it as well, and that's basically all you can really do for a card like this. The major modifications that I've seen so far are the MLCC caps. Those have been a huge bonus. So as you can see, the core memory as well. Basically put almost double the MLCC caps on every single existing cap there was, and that was really beneficial. The other bonus and other main key givers on the performance for getting more frequency out of it was definitely the switching frequency from testing on stock. On stock voltage, it was doing really good compared to having any extra voltage, and I still blew a MOSFET even on stock voltage on the card. That's how hard the switching frequency is. Now, when you do a switching frequency mod on a card, what's going to happen is your voltage will drop due to the fact it's switching so fast and dropping voltage, but since it's switching so quickly too, it helps stabilize the core from testing and can get more frequency even with less voltage, which is really good. I'll take some videos and pictures and that on this and put it on Discord, and for some bonus stuff I'll probably put some stuff on Patreon as well for this, and just to show it running some tests and the scores and what exactly I'm doing for voltages and whatnot for everything. But yeah, it's this card right here. I'm very, very happy with all the modifications done to it. Maybe later on I'll add some more cooling to the chokes. Those do get warm, but since the MOSFETs will be cooled with this right here, and I also have a fan right here, which this came from EVGA GTX 1070 fan. So it's just a fan you can use even in like your 1080 Ti or whatnot, replacement fan. I got this right here, and we got mounting holes right here, so that way this can sit here and cool everything as need be. I just have it off right now to show everything, and I can fit the card, like I said before, into the stock cooler, which is really, really good. For just testing and for storage wise, it just helps protect everything, and yeah, it's a lot easier to pack away because I am going to be moving here soon. But that's it for this video here. It's just a quick video going over the last modifications, the custom VRM heatsink here. It is screwed down through the back, so through these two screw holes here, it is screwed down and held into place, and we do have some thermal pads there, which is really nice. And the tolerance is very, very close. As you can see, we are very close to that ground connector. It is not touching, even though I can't really show it, but it is not touching. It is very, very close though. Yeah, this took a bit of time to make, but I got it all figured out, and it looks pretty good, and I'm hoping it works really good. I will be doing some testing again on air first, and we'll see how far we can push it. And then I'll be running it on water. Probably run it on water tomorrow. It's supposed to get fairly cool tomorrow, so maybe I can do a little bit of colder water runs. Won't be chilled, but we'll be able to do colder runs at least. But that's it for this video here. Again, thank you to all my viewers, subscribers, and donators. You guys are helping this channel more than you know. And again, as always, don't forget to get her done. Peace.